Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the widest, latest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripauda.
And I'm Joe Fernandez from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. orders concerned agencies to focus on government's efforts against malnutrition in the country. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the 33rd Anti-terrorism Council meeting assured that the safety of Filipinos remains a priority of his administration. The government's Rice for All program is set to roll out in NCR markets tomorrow to allow more Filipinos access to more affordable staple grain. The Armed Forces of the Philippines affirms their loyalty to the Constitution and the current administration. Although it is the president's top wish and dreams to eliminate hunger completely, it is also his government's policy to ensure each and every Filipino, young and old, is properly nourished, healthy, and strong. Hence, he is at the forefront of a campaign with the Department of Health that Filipinos have healthy food options in their diet. Our Clazer Padilla tells us more.
5 months pregnant Honaline is finding it difficult to meet or cover her daily expenses after losing her job. She can no longer afford medicine and has failed to secure her necessary vaccine for herself and her unborn child.
Ang vitamins na iniinom ko lang is liver, yung galing pa po dun sa, free pa yung galing dun sa dati kong trabaho. Kulang kasi sa, yung pera kasing kinikita ng asawa ko para lang sa pang-araw-araw, sakto lang.
Jeremy, on the other hand, works tirelessly to provide sufficient food and vitamins for his 6-month pregnant wife. He is determined to ensure their babies does not fall victim to the same health challenges her eldest endured growing up often ill.
Nagkasakit kasi kulang sa vitamins.
Kaya ngayon,
nagsusumikap, magtinda.
Kailangan talaga priority.
bakit sinisikap niyo talaga na makainom ng mga vitamins at yatas?
Ay, para lang naman kay baby yun.
In response to these pressing issues, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. convened government agencies to prioritize the fight against malnutrition, a problem affecting millions of Filipinos. The president highlighted the critical importance of the first 1,000 days of a child's life from conception to their second birthday as a foundation for proper growth and development.
The emphasis should be on the first 1,000 days, which involves a pregnant mother, yung fetus pa lang ay nasa loob ng sapupunan, that they'll be given micronutrients, mainly iron, folic acid, and then the tetanus and diphtheria vaccine. And then pag panganak na yan, dapat mabigyan ng mandatory initiation of breastfeeding.
Studies show 3 out of 10 Filipino children under the age of 5 suffer from malnutrition, often rooted in inadequate nutrition during this crucial early stage.
The problem is not the bansot. The problem is the low cognitive ability. Mahina yung utak because the brain development happens in the first 1,000 days.
To address this, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. instructed the National Nutrition Council to lead comprehensive programs that ensure children's health and well-being. These initiatives include distributing free nutritious food, vitamins, vaccines, and providing regular health checkups for mothers and children. By 2026, the government will adopt a convergent strategy for its nutrition budget, consolidating funds from various agencies to focus on a unified goal, eliminating malnutrition. Currently, the Health Department has allocated 500 million pesos to support the first 1,000 days program. This budget is expected to grow significantly as government efforts intensify. High-priority areas include provinces with alarming rates of malnutrition, such as Pangasinan, Isabela, Northern Samar, Bangsamoro, and other affected regions. Meanwhile, the Department of Social Welfare and Development continues to distribute 3,000 pesos monthly food stamps to the country's poorest families, aiming to alleviate hunger and improve nutrition.
Target natin this year ay makapag-onboard and makapag-serve ng 300,000 household beneficiaries. Malapit na nating ma-achieve ito, partner, 260,000 na yung ating na-onboard as of today.
Kalezal Pardilla, Balitang Pambansa.
While it is his wish to eliminate hunger among all Filipinos, one of government's priority is to see each Filipino safe and out of harm's way. This, the President stressed anew in his message on the occasion of the 33rd Anti-terrorism Council gathering and year-end celebration in Malacanang, as covered by our own Clazel Pardilla in this report.
The safety of every Filipino. This remains a top priority for President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. During the 33rd Anti-terrorism Council meeting held at Malacanang, the President reaffirmed his unwavering support for the Council's efforts. The ATC serves as a lead agency dedicated to identifying, preventing, and combating terrorism. He recognized the vital initiatives of the Council in addressing terrorist groups both within and beyond the nation's borders. One of the ATC's key measures is the freezing of assets, a decisive action to block individuals connected to terrorism from using their resources to spread violence and fear, ensuring they are immobilized and neutralized without causing harm. In addition to dismantling terrorist organizations, the government is focused on addressing the root causes of extremism. Efforts include empowering local leaders and encouraging youth participation through dialogues aimed at fostering unity and building a stronger and more resilient Philippines. The Marcos Jr. administration is also enhancing partnerships with international entities such as the United Nations and regional organizations to bolster the country's capabilities in addressing transnational threats. Parallel to the fight against terrorism is the unwavering commitment to protecting the nation's territory and sovereignty. During the oath-taking of 36 newly promoted generals and flag officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP, the Commander-in-Chief reiterated his administration's steadfast support for the military. He underscored the importance of programs and initiatives designed to enhance the AFP's capabilities, including the recently launched Combined Coordination Center with the United States.
It is a leap forward in our modernization efforts, reinforcing our interoperability with allies and strengthening our defense capabilities under the Mutual Defense Board concept plan.
Additionally, the AFP recently held a joint exercise, the Gitpak, showcasing their readiness and strength.
These exercises equip our forces as they address evolving security threats and operationalize the comprehensive archipelagic defense concept. Higit sa lahat, isulong natin ang mga pangarap ng bawat Pilipino sa pamamagitan ng bawat misyon na naitupad natin, bawat sakripisyong inaalay at bawang hamong tinapatan ng tagumpay.
In his message, the President reminded officers their promotions are not just marks of excellence, but solemn reminders of their duty to safeguard the nation. Kalezal Pardilla, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, the Department of Science and Technology's Advanced Science and Technology Institute, or DOST-ASTI, is advocating for the Philippines to transition to IPv6, a newer version of the Internet protocol to improve network security and accommodate more users. This shift will also help Internet providers optimize their existing resources without costly equipment upgrades. Our Gabi Villegas has more.
Many are surprised by South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol's declaration of emergency martial law through an unannounced late-night address this Tuesday. The President said it was because of North Korea's support to the activities of the country's main opposition. He did not, however, provide details on how martial law would be enforced. But in a statement by the martial law commander, it said all types of political activities in the country, including the National Assembly, are prohibited. Also, all media and publications will be under the control of their martial law command. The leader of the opposition called the president's declaration illegal. The National Assembly voted and passed a resolution to repeal the declaration of emergency martial law. Of the over 300 legislators, only 190 favored lifting the declaration. That's why martial law was formally lifted in South Korea this morning. Meanwhile, the United States is carefully monitoring the situation in Somalia.
Yan tatakot na may tension kasi palaging may tension laban sa South Korea at North Korea, or minsan political tension ng mga pagkakaibal na politika sa Seoul. So, normal na para sa mga Pilipino yun. Wala pala kaming ginawang alert level o pagpabawal sa mga pagka-travel sa... Hindi namin kayo sinasabihan na huwag na kayong pumunta. Pero kailangan yung maintindihan na sa South Korea, ganyan tong politics yan. Palaging may
Philippine Ambassador to South Korea Maria Teresa Dizon de Vega said Filipino citizens are in good condition and their movements remain normal.
Huwag po kayong masyadong mag-alala dahil okay naman po yung mga kababayan po natin dito. Wala naman pong kaguluhan sa mga kalye po. Dire-diretso po ang daloy ng trapiko, ang daloy din po at paggalaw din po ng mga tao. At kami naman po nakaantabay at lagi pong bukas ang aming mga lines of communication, ang aming mga emergency numbers and other forms of communication para po kung may problema o challenges po yung ating mga kababayan, agad-agaran po nila kaming
Representatives today to file another impeachment complaint against Vice Issues they cited for this complaint include the alleged abuse, misuse, and wastage of 612.5 million pesos in confidential funds of her offices, alleged systematic cover-up in their COA documents, and alleged deliberate obstruction of congressional
paglulustay ng pera.
For its part, the House leadership assured to process the complaint in accordance with the Constitution and its rules of procedure in impeachment proceedings.
The House is committed to performing its constitutional duty with fairness, impartiality, and respect for the rule of law. We assure the public that this process will be conducted with integrity, guided by the principles of due process and adherence to the Constitution.
From PTV Manila, Melalas Moras, Balitang Pambansa.
Senior officials of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, expressed their gratitude for the continued support of the House of Representatives to their unit. They also assured that they remain loyal to the Constitution and the administration. The AFP further confirmed that their loyalty to the Constitution and to the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. remains unchanged. This statement was made by several senior officials of the AFP during a courtesy call to House Speaker Martin Romualdez yesterday. During their meeting, Speaker Romualdez promised the full support of the House for the AFP modernization program. AFP Intelligence Commander Lieutenant General Ferdinand Barandon, in a separate statement, assured that there is nothing to worry about regarding the AFP's standing.
Forces of the Philippines are professionals and mission-oriented, and we will abide by the duly constituted authorities, and we will follow the chain of command, sir.
On the other news, the Department of Agriculture, or DA, is launching the Kadiwa ng Pangulo's Rice for All program in NCR public markets to offer affordable rice at 40 pesos per kilo. The rice available from Tuesday to Saturdays was initially 45 pesos per kilo but will drop to 40 pesos starting Thursday. Kadiwa kiosk will be set up in key markets like Kamuning, Malabon, and Pasay. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. aims to challenge high rice prices and expand the program nationwide with 5 billion pesos in funding approved by President Marcos Jr.
Philippine officials welcome a Canadian trade mission in Malacanang consisting of 300 delegates from 200 Canadian companies to explore investment opportunities in the Philippines. The meeting, led by Canadian Minister Mary Nang, focused on the ASEAN-Canada Free Trade Agreement, or ACAFTA, which includes elements like market access, e-commerce, and intellectual property. The mission will continue with a plenary session at the Grand Hyatt Ballroom to further strengthen economic ties between the two countries. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD's Walang Gutom program has registered almost 300,000 households, reaching 86% of its 300,000 target for the year. The program provides families with 3,000 pesos in monthly food credits, promoting affordable nutrition. Some regions have met their targets, while others, including Eastern Visayas, are fast-tracking registration efforts after recent disasters. The DSWD aims to support 1 million families by 2027.
Ako si Juanito Castañares Alquiris, ug asawa si TC Canania Alquiris nga nagpuyo diri sa resettlement site sa Kalisuhan, Guadalupe, Carcar City, Cebu. Mao ni ang atoang gamay nga yuta nga hinatag sa DAR, itutuluhan sa DAR. Mao ni atoang mga binuhing baboy. Mao ni nakapahuman og papaeskwela sa among mga anak. Nakapahuman mi og 5 ka anak. Nagpasalamat mi kay dako sa atong mahal nga presidente Bongbong Marcos ug sa atong sekretary sa DAR nga si Conrado Estrella III nga mao'y nagbuhat sa titulo sa among yuta nga ilang gihatag namo ang 2,400 square meter.
Si Mr. Juanito Alquiris, mga anak na po yan na mga naghihintay.
In facing the men and women in uniform under his command, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. exhorted his military officers to forever abide by its duty to stand with the troops under their command, uphold the Constitution, and protect the civilians or Filipino people. The Commander-in-Chief urged his senior military officers to follow heed in today's function or occasion in Malacanang Palace for the oath-taking of the 36 newly promoted generals and flag officers of the AFP. Likewise, he also acknowledged the AFP's critical role in protecting the country's sovereignty and responding to rescue and victims of natural disasters and calamities, the last 5 or 6 storms and typhoons, in particular, that struck the country in nearly 5 weeks.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assured the armed forces of the Philippines, or AFP, of continued government support, emphasizing their strong partnership in upholding the rule of law and building a safer, fairer, and stronger country. Speaking at the oath-taking ceremony of 36 newly promoted generals and flag officers at the Malacanang, he praised the AFP's role in protecting the nation and supporting humanitarian efforts. The chief executive encouraged AFP leaders to inspire their troops to serve with skill and compassion, reaffirming that the entire nation stands behind them.
Based on a report from the Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, a China Coast Guard, or CCG vessel fired water cannons at the BRP Dato Pagwaya during a routine patrol near Baho de Masinloc on Wednesday. On a report from Philippine Information Agency, the CCG vessel targeted the ship's navigational antennas, then sideswiped it with launch another water cannon assault. Other PCG vessels also face aggressive maneuvers from Chinese ships. The PCG reaffirmed its commitment to protecting Filipino fishers and asserting the Philippine jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea.
The National Science and Technology Week, or NSTW 2024, hosted by the Department of Science and Technology Region 10, saw over 600 attendees exploring 348 technologies that highlights the innovative spirit of Filipino scientists and researchers. Philippine Information Agency Region 10, Jam Rukat, has the full report.
Over 600 people expressed interest in the 348 technologies showcased at the recently concluded National Science and Technology Week, or NSTW 2024, hosted by the Department of Science and Technology Region 10. The event showcased the latest innovations and technologies developed by Filipino researchers and scientists, done over 40 forums, networking activities, competitions, and an exhibit of DOST-supported technologies classified into clusters.
These are what truly matter and is the why behind staging NSCW 2024. They remind us that science and technology are not just abstract concepts or lofty ideals. They are tangible tools for progress, empower communities, spark innovation, and offer hope.
DOST also presented initiatives to foster sustainable communities, such as the Circular Economy Program, which promotes smart and environmentally responsible technologies, as well as the creative brilliance of the Kathabi Fashion Show, where tradition and technology came together. Young innovators also competed in the Startup Jam pitching competition, presenting new ideas and solutions.
EVRAM stands for Expendable Aerial Vehicle for Reconnaissance and Assault Missions. So we developed this drone in order to address the gaps in our military security. So its intended use is for the military.
From Philippine Information Agency Region 10, Jam Rucat for Balitang Pambansa.
The police in Caraga received an above 90% satisfaction rating from the Mindanao Development Authority survey, indicating that region remains safe and peaceful. Philippine Information Agency Caraga's Renel Luzon Escuadro tells us the full details.
Dr. Adrian M. Tamayo, Minda Public Relations Chief, shared the results of the Mindanao Trust Respect and Safety Study, or MTRSS, a scientific baseline survey on public safety, satisfaction, and service delivery by the Philippine National Police, which is part of the Mindanao Agenda 2023 to 2028. The survey revealed the third quarter peace and order perception in Caraga, with PNP Caraga receiving a 91% satisfaction rating, 89% in respect and trust, 88% in security, and 87% in safety.
We have the kind of scientific survey to tell through you, the rest of the world, that Mindanao is peaceful, so that people would visit Mindanao to enjoy the God-given amenities of bounty and beauty here in Caraga and here in Mindanao.
The province of Dinagat Islands topped the satisfaction rating with 98%. It also excelled in other criteria, especially in security, with a 95% rating, solidifying its status as the safest province in the region.
The MTRSS survey, which began in 2022, is led by Minda, using the sampling design and random selection of respondents from residents, tourists, and travelers aged 18 and above in targeted locations. For this year, 1,202 respondents participated in the survey in the Caraga region. Renel Luzon Escuadro from the Philippine Information Agency Caraga for the Balitang Pambansa.
For our weather update, the northeast monsoon, shear line, and localized thunderstorms are affecting the Philippines. Cagayan Valley and the Cordillera region are expecting cloudy skies with moderate to heavy rainfall due to the shear line, causing gusty winds and showers in northern Luzon. Pag-asa in the National Capital Region, or NCR, expect fair weather with isolated thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. Localized thunderstorms can lead to brief heavy rainfall and flash floods in some areas. Visayas and Mindanao will experience scattered rain showers and thunderstorms with gusty winds due to the shear line and localized storms. These regions will see unsettled weather throughout the day. Pag-asa continues to monitor these systems. While no tropical cyclones are active, it is important to stay updated through official weather advisories.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. We bring you the widest and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and the Presidential Broadcast Service. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. This is
Balitang Pambansa.